Hi, I'm Claire from Arden Bookkeeping. We started 6 years ago now. After having my daughter, I didn't want to go back into full-time employment, so set up on my own. And here we are 6 years later. I think initially it was just the thought to just bring in some income for the home, really, and have the flexibility to be there for my daughter. But it kind of started snowballing really quickly. I'd never had the dream of having an office and a team. But, as time's gone on and the brand of the company and the awareness, and we keep getting the new clients. So, yeah, here we are with a team of 5 of us and it's going strong. I think stress can be a massive issue for bookkeepers because we have such a varied clientele and they all have such individual needs. And obviously in our industry, there's a lot of peaks and troughs with, tax season, personal tax, obviously, but also there's the limited accounts that we need to prepare for to pass over to the accountants. So there's a lot of deadlines to remember. Every client likes things done slightly different. They want different things from their accounts, and their figures. So it's making sure that they all understand the processes that we have in place. But yeah, it can be very stressful at times. And I think every client thinks they're your only client. So they constantly expect you to be able to drop everything and do whatever they want at that moment. And obviously you can't do that when you have 60, 80, 100 clients. So it's keeping their expectations managed, but still delivering the good service that they want. In the beginning of business, it's a very nerve-wracking time and you want to be a complete people pleaser. So you don't necessarily set those boundaries that you should at the beginning. So if a client was texting me at 10 o'clock at night, I'd be, replying or I'm just going to jump on my laptop quickly and I'll get that done for you. And obviously you can't sustain that. Now we have very clear boundaries and working hours, but it's difficult to put them in place afterwards when they've already been receiving replies from you at all hours of the day. So it's really important to put that in the beginning. A work-life balance, I think, has been difficult over the last couple of years when we've been working from home and those clear boundaries haven't been there. When you finish at 5 o'clock, you shut your laptop and you go home. But if you're already at home, the line's blurred quite a lot. So we've been back in the office since last summer. We have always been a flexible office. We've always been allowed to work from home if required. We've all got young children. So I understand that, you have dance recitals or the dentist or, all of these things. But I think just making sure that at the end of the day, family will always come first, but as long as the work gets done. And we're all part-time around school hours. So it gives us the time that we need. I have to always remember why I set the business up, and it was because I wanted the flexibility for my family. So it's only fair that I then offer that to my team. It's a challenge at sometimes, especially in 6 weeks holiday when we've all got young children and we all need to balance it, but it works. You just have to make it work. Tax season is obviously one of the highest stress-inducing times of the year, especially because right in the middle of that is Christmas. We close the office for a week at Christmas, so we all get time with our families. But that means that in our busiest time of the year, we're putting down our laptops. So the way that we get around that is we treat all of our clients, whether they're a sole trader or a limited company, we work with them the same each week and each month, collating the data from them, and we're processing it throughout the year. So they have always live information on how they're performing, but it means that after April, we can start working on those tax returns straight away instead of waiting for them to get the information to us and suddenly having hundreds to do in November, December and January. We also spread the payments for the clients. So sole traders often struggle a bit to find lump sums, especially if they've got to pay the tax and then our bill. So we charge them monthly for that throughout the year as well in advance. Obviously, with MTD for ITSA coming in the next couple of years, we're going to have to be working in that way anyway because we need to do quarterly submissions. So it's kind of given us a head start towards that as well. We have all our clients set up on direct debits through Go Cardless. It's sort of part of our onboarding process, so we don't really start working until that's done. We also don't do hourly fees. We do a flat rate each month. They know exactly what their fees will be. We don't have any hidden fees. We don't charge for meetings or phone calls throughout the year or any of that. So it's a very honest and transparent relationship between us, and I think that helps. Also, it's been important for our cash flow. I don't want to be worrying and chasing clients for money. I think it has been difficult recently, because there's been a lot of lockdowns and isolations and the 2 meters. So it has been difficult to build that team camaraderie over the past couple of years. But quite often, we'll try and nip out for lunch if I can tell it's a really stressful time, or I'll order some lunch in and just tell everyone, tools down, let's just have a bit of Dominoes or something else. Making sure that we're not always just eyes down in silence doing the work. It's important to build the relationships of the team. We also use Pixie, which helps us keep on track of everyone's workload. So I can see in advance if someone's task list is growing, and they're not going to have time to meet all those deadlines. And having that in place for me to have the visibility has really helped, because then I can just reassign those tasks, share the workload a bit more evenly between the team, and help keep those stress levels down. The first one and the biggest one, as I've already mentioned, is boundaries. Look through the time and make sure that the client's expectations are being managed effectively, and you're not opening yourself up to work outside of your normal working hours. I think that's a massive thing, and that really helps getting your work-life balance back in play. Because we deal with so many different clients, it's very easy to get distracted and pulled off the task. An email will pop up and that will take you down that rabbit hole. So I think managing your emails effectively, we tend to check mine first thing in the morning and after lunch, and I don't look in between. I've turned off all my notifications, I've turned off my social media notifications. So, I'm not getting distracted through the day, and I'm getting a good solid amount of work done. We use that advice for the whole team as well. It helps us hit our targets, hit the goals that we need to get done without being distracted. And nothing drastic is ever going to happen in those few hours that you're not checking your email. So